Hello everyone, Clock for Game here. I thought I'd do something a little bit different as I've not uploaded very much lately. Life's been extremely busy and there's been a lot going on with my PhD, there's been a lot going on with work and in all honesty as well, I've been a little bit lazy when it comes to videos because I've been getting home from PhD and work and various different things, and I've kind of been monging out or wanting to go out to the pub or something for a drink. But I thought, you know what, let's start making some videos again because I really enjoy these. And I did realise, much to my horror, that I had made a Instagram post about Austria, but I'd not actually done a video on Austria. So this video is going to be part of me just talking a little bit about Austria and about the time I had there and how things went. But then also as well, I wanted to do a what to take with you to a BCS video as well. So this is kind of two videos mashed into one. So I'll start off by saying that I thoroughly enjoyed BCS Austria. It was absolutely fantastic. I did the WJP tournament on the Saturday and then the BCS tournament in Mulding on the Sunday, and I hope I pronounced that right. I think it's Mulding. That's what some of the locals were saying, so I'll go with that. Now on the Saturday, I'd never ever played a proper game with on the JP tournament before, and I decided to go with my Gotcha deck because it's the only it's the only JP deck that I've got. I'd never played it before. It was really fun. It was a fun little time. I like this finisher. This is a nice little finisher. I should make a deck video on this as well when I get a chance. However, the first round was possibly the worst game of Weiss that I've ever had. I'd seen 6 climaxes by the end of turn 0. And literally just went from 0 to 3. I think I only cancelled once that entire game. The other games were a mixed bag. I had a few decent games. I had a few terrible games. There was some really close games, and I was able to fulfill my channel name in round 3. There were 7 rounds, and in 6 rounds, sorry. And in round 3, I was able to fulfill my channel name by robbing my opponent of killing me by killing myself before he did. And I was able to clock myself for game. We did it, boys. We clocked for game. But it was really fun all around. I ended up winning 2 and losing 4. That wasn't great, but it was the first time I'd ever played in JP format. I'd never really played my Gotcha deck before. It's only there as a little bit of fun, and I think I'll keep it that way. It was hilarious nonetheless. It was a very fun time. But moving on to the Sunday, I broke out my little Psychano deck, and I'd been playing it like mad for a number of months, and I felt pretty darn confident with it. My final score was 3 wins, 4 losses. There were 7 rounds in total. My first BCSs, the first one was Leeds, and I can't remember how I did with that. Leeds in the UK. And the one after that was Belgium, where I won 1 and lost the others, and then eventually dropped. And that was a couple of years ago now, and so I set out with the idea of I just want to do a little bit better than I did at Belgium, so if I win more than 1 round, I'll be happy. And I ended up winning 3, which wasn't bad at all. I went against a mixture of decks. I went against 2 bocce decks. I went against a Fate Apocrypha deck, which unfortunately ended in a double loss, which I still am a little salty about, but hey-ho. Then we went against a Hololive deck. That was possibly the funniest game because we ended both me and my opponent, sorry, were running compression decks. So we just ended up compressing the hell out of our decks, and then neither of us could stick damage. And we were both on 3-1 for about 4 turns, and it went into time, and we got a double loss. And you know what? I can't even be mad about that because that was really funny. So we couldn't physically do damage. We'd got 7 or 8 climaxes in like maybe a 13, 14, 15 card deck a piece. It was just funny. It was a good time all around, and one thing that I will say about the BCS in Austria is it was a very, very fun time. It was a very welcoming time. The people there, not just the locals, but the player base in general, was just fantastic. And my little Psychano deck worked its little butt off and pulled me 3 wins out. I still think this could be a viable deck, and I think this is a deck that I will be playing in future tournaments, just because I really, really, really liked it. Couple of honourable mentions with the deck is obviously this finisher. Still just a nice finisher. You know, it's nice, stops backups. I didn't run into any quints or any decks with nasty backups, but the potential to stop backups and become hexproof is always there. It's nice that you can just heal 1, and the pay 1, burn 2 is very nice indeed. Now moving on to this memory climax swapper. When reversed, this goes to memory. When it's in memory, at the beginning of your main phase, you can pay 1 to climax swap. Extremely handy. If you get this into your hand in the early game and are able to send it to memory, you really set up in a strong position for climax swapping later on. You don't have to worry about anything. This card, if you have ever played against Psychano and they run green, you will know that they run this card. This is a very nice card. It's tap 2 of your characters they can't stand during the next turn. However, what you're able to do is search your deck for a character, stop 1 from waiting room, then send this to bottom of deck. It's just a very, very good card. And then this card put in a lot of work. Even in the games that I lost, this card was really pressuring my opponent. This card is a level 0 booster and gives all level 0s 1,000 power. But the main effect is it stops salvage on attack phase. So even though I lost against Bocce the Rock, I was able to... or not Bocce the Rock, sorry. I forget which decks it was handy against. Hololive, certainly. But it was able to hurt the Hololive decks and most of the other decks, really, especially the ones that were playing doors. I was hoping to go against an Itsuki deck, you know, the 8-door Itsuki decks. It'd have hurt that. But unfortunately I didn't. But this card absolutely needs to be run in a Psychano build. It's fantastic. But moving on a little bit to what you should take to a BCS. So I'm going to start with a few basic things. Obviously, you want to bring a deck box. You want to bring, obviously, your deck box. Make sure your deck is safe and sound. You can get these very, very easily, very, very cheaply. I'd stock up on an extra 1 or 2 as well. You do want to bring some spare sleeves. You may have some very nice character sleeves like these, or you may have just some plain sleeves on. Whatever the case, either bring the spare sleeves from the pack or bring a completely new set of sleeves yourself. It doesn't take up much room, and why I'm saying this is things can happen, your sleeves can get damaged, something can get spilt on them, unfortunately, and it's just nice to have a spare pack of sleeves in the bag ready to go, just in case. Same goes for oversleeves. Always bring a fresh pack of oversleeves with you. These ones have not been used. If you get deck checked or you notice that one of your sleeves is starting to split, you can just swap it out. Make sure you bring this with you. It just saves you a lot of trouble down the line. You just want to bring a couple of spare random sleeves and top loaders. if you don't bring a folder. Usually there's some trading going off, and this will keep any of your traded cards or bought cards just safe while you get home. If you bring a couple of these and an elastic band, you can tie them together just for some extra sturdiness. We did a bit of trading while we were there. There's people selling SPs, there's people selling foils. It's just nice to keep your cards protected. And obviously these come in various different designs, but you want the going first, going second cards. It just makes it easier. Keep them in your deck box, keep them in your top pocket. Just pull them out when you've sat down and you can get everything started quickly, because not everybody has these. If you have a pair of these yourself and you've got your going first, going second cards, it can just make things start off a lot easier. You're not having to look to borrow someone else's or borrow a dice from someone. And also bring a spare mat. I would just bring, this is my nice mat that I used for the tournament. I would just bring a spare kind of random mat that you have that you don't really use. Number one, in case something gets spilt on your main mat. Number two, if somebody needs a mat while they're there or your mat isn't tournament official, just bring a blank mat with you or something like that, or an official mat, just to make sure. There are some mats that the judges will ask you to put away, but just bring a spare mat with you just in case. You might be able to help someone out as well. And then swiftly moving on, just some supplies to bring to a tournament in general. So, little first aid kit. I would say this is not exactly tournament, but certainly keep one in your bag or your suitcase just in case you need plasters or you get blisters or something like that. I would absolutely bring some paracetamol with you to the tournament. I ended up getting a real bad headache while I was there. Perhaps that was the cause of me losing one of my games. I don't know. The judges aren't allowed to give out paracetamol, so absolutely bring some for yourself, just in case you do feel a little under the weather, or you've got a cold, or you've got a headache or something. Bring some Vaseline. I don't know why, but when I go travelling, I don't know whether it's the aeroplane or whatever, I always end up having really, really dry lips. And bringing Vaseline was an absolute lifesaver for me, because I was able to actually have nice lips while I was at the tournament. I could blow kisses at my opponent. But there's nothing more annoying than chapped lips, so keep some handy, or just even a simple chapstick. Just some hand sanitizer. You're going to be travelling around a lot. Just keep it on hand so you can, give your hands a bit of a clean. I always like to give my hands a clean before the start of a round. You're touching someone's cards. They've probably spent a lot of time and money on those cards and those sleeves. It's just a little bit of respect, isn't it? But on that note as well, respect, always bring a teeny tiny travel can of deodorant with you. Usually the venues are quite hot. Usually they will be quite humid as well. There's a lot of people there. There's a fair amount of walking around. And even if you're just walking around that's not to do with the tournament, you're just walking around, say, sightseeing or whatever, wherever you're staying, it's always good to bring some deodorant with you. You always want to smell nice. I'm very conscious of smelling. Also as well, unfortunately, some people forget deodorant, and it's always nice to help those guys out. There was a couple of my friends who, when they saw I'd got deodorant, they asked to borrow it. So you can help people out there. And bring a empty bottle of water as well. You can get these literally from anywhere. But again, it's quite hot and stuffy in the tournament. You might as well have a drink on you if there's no drinks available. And also, you don't have to specifically bring a banana, but bring some sort of snack with you to the venue. There's not always going to be snacks on hand. Make sure, I would say, bring some fruit. Go to a shop, buy some fruit. It just helps you out. It helps your brain power. It helps you not feel as hungry. And it's quite a long day. You're going to need something to sustain you. And then, last but not least, probably bring a book with you as well. If you have a round like I did, where my opponent didn't turn up, or you have a bye round, You can do testing, or you can just relax with a nice little bit of a book. And if you've not read Ascendance of a Bookworm as well, I'm going to shill it here. Absolutely do. It's an amazing series. But on that note, thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you found that helpful. God bless and bye-bye.